Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Rayz Dayz, episode 128 of the show where I recap my week. It has been a week. It's been actually a pretty decent week, I gotta say. You know, got some ups, got some downs in life in general, and I gotta sit back. I take a step back, and I have to appreciate the times where I actually have a good week. Which the reality is, I'm probably having more good weeks than bad weeks. I just my mental health will confuse me, will distract me, will make me think that life is horrible when things are actually not bad, could be worse, you know, especially you look around the world, obviously. The world in general is pretty horrible, you know. Puerto Rico is being destroyed by a hurricane. Just everywhere around the droughts everywhere. People don't have drinkable water. You can't take a shower in the water that comes out of your pipes because they gave all the money for poor people to a rich quarterback. You know, things could be worse. Right, so I gotta step back and I take note of my situation and my reality, and sometimes my mental health will line up with the reality of things, and I'll feel pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. I also, you know, the week it's been a whatever week, kind of mildly productive. There's still a lot of things on my to-do list I want to get done, especially for the holidays, which is like I'm putting a lot of pressure on these things I want to do because, you know, give the potential for people to support me financially, purchase things for the holidays. But I know the reality is I will spend like a week, like every moment of the day just going crazy, doing a bunch of work, and in the end, I probably won't sell anything, right? The reality is I probably won't sell any artwork. I probably won't sell any prints. Nobody will sign up for Inspired Disorder Plus. All of the things that I've been hopeful for and producing and promoting and working towards will be just unappreciated and unseen by most people. Right, that's probably going to be the reality. But if I don't do it, then I'm guaranteeing that I won't make any money doing those things. So I got to do it. So I'm getting close to there. I mean, you know, planning for October, I've already kind of gotten into the horror movie mode, you know, finishing Midnight Mass. I watched Haunting on Hill House, which is another show that was created by Mike Flanagan, the guy who wrote and directed Midnight Mass. I'm preparing for probably going to be doing an episode-by-episode recap of his new show that's coming out October 7th, Midnight Club. So I'm kind of looking forward to that in a lot of ways. But just watching, you know, horror movies in general. Watched Attention Please, which isn't really necessarily horror, more of a thriller. But I'm definitely getting in that horror mode more so now. And just getting ready for the cooler weather, which finally it's been a week of sub 100 degrees. It's been a week where at night I can actually open up the doors, open up the windows, and get fresh air. It's been a week where I step outside in the morning to walk into the main house to go use the restroom, and it actually feels cool. It's not cold, but it feels cool. You know, it's like 70 degrees at like 7 in the morning as opposed to 90 or 100 degrees, right? I don't open the door and get hit in the face with a blast of heat. So that's been nice. I've also, on Thursday or Wednesday night, actually, I went to sleep super early. I have been very tired lately. That is, it's been a good week, but I've been very tired taking naps. Like halfway through the day, I've just been zapped. It's like zero energy. And I don't know why. I don't know what's going on, but on Wednesday, I decided to just call it a very early night and decided to go to sleep. Probably went to sleep around 7 o'clock, right? The sun hadn't even gone down yet. But I was like, screw this. I also, on a TikTok video, like, you know, TikTok is great. I'm learning a lot about myself based on what this algorithm feeds me. It's kind of very interesting. But one of the videos I saw, which is a common thing, where it's like, don't pay for overpriced over-the-counter medicine when they're just rebranding something that's actually cheaper, right? Like migraine extra strength is just like, there's just a lot of like, they will repackage and rebrand certain things in order to charge more for them. And specifically the one that I saw that I tried out and I looked up and it's true is that sleep aids that you get, over-the-counter sleep aid to help you go to sleep is the same active ingredient in Benadryl. Right? It's just a smaller dose. I think sleep aids are 50 milligrams and Benadryl's 25 milligrams per pill. So you just take more. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. I forget the name of the active ingredient. But if you look up Benadryl, obviously, if you've taken Benadryl, the allergy medicine, it makes you feel woozy. It makes you feel tired. That's why they make specifically non-drowsy versions, which that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the drowsy stuff, right? So, and I have allergies. I have seasonal allergies, so it helps anyway. So I've been taking Benadryl before sleep to help me sleep. And I got to say, I've been getting really good sleep, as opposed to melatonin, which I've taken, and makes me feel super drowsy the next day. Taking the Benadryl, like, definitely, I end up getting woozy. Like, I take it like an hour or two before I plan on going to sleep, right? I want to make sure I feel it. And there's been times where, like, my brain, there was one night where I didn't get a whole lot of sleep just because my brain overpowered the Benadryl. But on Wednesday, I was so ready for bed at around 7, and I slept amazing. I was tired anyway, so it was like, I need to, like, catch up on some sleep, which I know that's not, like, a real thing, but let me tell you, it felt like I caught up on some sleep. Because I didn't wake up till 7 o'clock the next morning. I slept for, like, 12 hours. And it was, like, good sleep. Like, I generally, even with decent sleep, I'm constantly tossing and turning, right? I sleep on one side, I get in pain, I roll over to another side. Like, I'm constantly having to roll and move and change and all that stuff. And this sleep, I did it the very minimum amount of tossing and turning. Slept amazing, and I felt so refreshed on Thursday. So refreshed on Thursday. It felt like I woke up, I felt good. I had no need for, like, caffeine of any sort. I just felt awake and refreshed in a way that I can't remember the last time I woke up actually feeling refreshed. Felt so good. So that was kind of a highlight of my week. Just waking up actually refreshed. It felt good. And it probably helped that, like, weather-wise, temperature-wise, it's starting to cool down. It's like a relief. Like, it feels good that, like, the heat is going away for a few months. Right? So all of that stuff is good. Been watching a bunch of Mike Flanagan stuff just because I enjoyed Midnight Mass. I had some problems with it. Had some issues with it. But overall, I thought it was well written. Overall, I thought great performances. And I watched Haunting a Hill House, and that amazing show, The Haunting of Hill House, I think it's called. Amazing show, well written. The story, like, it's so complex and great. I absolutely love that show. A miniseries, 10 episodes, I think. So good. Started watching Bly Manor. The accents, for whatever reason, I don't know. I'm not as invested. But I am looking forward to Midnight Club, which is the new show he's doing. So, and I'm planning on probably going to be doing an episode by episode recap, because every Tuesday I do the episode by episode recaps. Right? I've done Ted Lasso, Squid Game, Dave, and Midnight Mass. What was another one I did? Anyway, I've done a few shows, episode by episode, and I don't know when new seasons of those other shows are coming back, so I've kind of been filling in, and I've been filling in with like stuff that I know is a limited run series. So that's why I did Midnight Mass, a show that I had heard great things about, never watched it. I know it's a limited series. It's only 7 episodes, so I was like, great, I'll do that, and hopefully, another show will start up. I think Ted Lasso is probably the one that will come back the soonest with a new season. Still no word on when that's coming back. So I'm thinking I might do Midnight Club, which will be 10 episodes, which is kind of long, right? It's a week. I'll be putting out a show weekly for that. So that's, 2.5 months. So that takes me through October, November, takes me into December, close to the end of the year. So it would be like, fingers crossed. First off, it's a horror show that's going to take me into December, which I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know if I'll do it. I'm thinking about it. I'm hypothesizing. I've also kind of thought of doing Station 11, which is an amazing miniseries that was on HBO that I've watched twice already. So I might rewatch that again and do an episode recap. It's a great show. So I don't know, or I might just take Tuesdays off. We'll see. Not really Tuesday. I'll just be recording one less episode. Maybe I'll do some bonus content for Inspired Disorder Plus. Let's take a little break from the show to promote. I have Inspired Disorder Plus. Would you feel good about donating $5 a month to an artist that you want to support? $5 a month is not much, less than a price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks. A lot of people would probably say, yeah, Inspired Disorder Plus, people can go, and for $5 a month or $50 for the year, you get access to all of the old podcasts that I've ever done, like 10 different podcasts, hundreds of podcast episodes. You also get access to like special deals. So if you do want to collect my artwork, you get discounts on stuff. Watch this show, binge the full week ad-free for $5 a month. Like, you get benefits for the $5 a month or $50 a year. So it's not like you're just donating $5. There's something, you get something for that. Would you feel good about donating $5 a month to an artist that you want to support? A lot of people would probably say, yeah. Head on over to inspiredddisorder.com/plus and become an Inspired Disorder Plus member today. And now let's get back to the show. But yeah, it's been a pretty good week. So Thursday, super refreshed. Thursdays, I paint live on YouTube, youtube.com/inspired disorder. And then I also stream live on TikTok. And I mentioned previous episodes that I started streaming an angle where you see me. You can't really see the painting as well. It's a lot of the times it's blown out, it's overexposed, but it's something where you can watch me paint, you can interact with me, ask me questions. And this past Thursday was by far my most successful TikTok. I had, I don't know what the numbers were exactly, but it was by far the most viewers, by far the most likes. I actually had people trying to interact with me. Obviously, while I'm in the process of painting, I'm not going to be looking at the screen and answering your questions. But there was, somebody asked how many tattoos I had. Apparently, they had 20 tattoos, which just made me feel jealous about wishing I had more tattoos. But it was good. It was good. It was like, at least like out of all of the times I've streamed on either TikTok or Instagram, it was by far the first time where it felt like, oh, people are actually watching this. So assuming I'm in the mood, like I didn't do it the week before, I just wasn't feeling good Thursday. I just wanted to get the paintings done, so I didn't even bother with TikTok. But assuming I'm feeling good about it and I'm like just in that mood, I will be doing that on TikTok, which is nice. And I also did a lot of work on my YouTube page, just kind of working on the SEO, which is very boring stuff. But going into just kind of, I had somebody, I read the comment a week or two ago on here. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, about somebody saying that, like, you know, I should split up this podcast and my art stuff. But the art stuff is really more like another episode of the Ray Taylor Show in a lot of ways. Because not every episode of the Ray Taylor Show is movie reviews, and they were speaking specifically about my movie reviews. And my most popular video isn't even an art video or a podcast episode. It's a how-to video on Zippo. So I don't think I necessarily need to make my YouTube page only movie reviews, but I did gear it more towards the podcast and movie reviews, really a lot in the SEO of, you know, my YouTube page description and all the things, just stuff that was super out of date, stuff that I wrote back when I was still watching MMA. Like, it had a lot of outdated stuff that really didn't apply to what my videos were about. So I did a lot of work on that. I'm on both my YouTube pages, the clips page and the main page. And I kind of scaled back how the content that I produce that comes out of my painting videos. So kind of scaling that back a little bit because it just felt a little bit too redundant with a lot of the stuff I was doing. So made a few changes here and there. And it was good, you know, productive. It's weird how, like, I will just get sucked into a project and time will disappear, right? As opposed to putting a project on my calendar and knowing that I'm going to try and do this thing, right? It just hit me at the right moment. And then I just spent the day, I think it was Friday, just spent the day working on stuff. You know, I'll do the same thing with my website, where I'll start working on a small aspect of my website, and then I'll just get sucked into it and just do like a massive project, and it'll just be like I'm a zombie, just getting all this stuff done. And, you know, sometimes that's just the best way I work, where I have to ride the momentum of what I want to do. Like, when I'm not feeling it, I just get the bare minimum done, and then when I'm feeling it, and it could be like whether I'm in a manic state or not, and I kind of feel like in some ways, like it's weird, like I would say like my fluctuation is kind of leveled out a lot to where my manic times aren't like crazy manic. I think they do, if I was actually getting success doing stuff, they might peak a little bit higher in the mania. Maybe, or maybe it's just because I'm older. Who knows? There could be a lot of reasons why it's kind of leveled out a bit. But it definitely has. But I definitely can tell now. I'm aware when I'm in more of a manic state. Because there will be times where, like, I will be able to get lost in a project for hours. For hours. Just like, not even like, just effortlessly lost in a project. And it could be like the most mundane thing, like something that I had no plan on doing, but it just gets sucked into it and I can't help myself. I'm just like addicted to this thing and getting it done. And then I'll slip into depression where it's like, I don't want to do anything. And it feels like I was in that depressive state like just before the manic state. Like, everything was kind of good, and then, like, it kind of dipped into, like, depression, and then all of a sudden, like, it jumped up to where, like, I was just, like, on fire getting things done. So, I don't know. Maybe it was because I just got some good sleep finally. Who knows? And it's weird how, like, when I'm in that state, when I'm super productive and actually feeling good, how foreign it is to think of what I felt like when I'm depressed. Like, I'm so far from that type of feeling, those types of emotions, that it's amazing that I was just feeling that way, that I was just feeling so hopeless and worthless and pointless and everything was what the fuck. And then to like where I'm super hopeful and super positive and super like optimistic. It's insane. it's insane, and it's just I kind of just come to realize, this past year, really focusing and understanding that aspect of me and just knowing when to ride the wave. Hey, I'm wearing the shirt, Tiger Belly shirt where they're surfing. Just knowing when to ride the wave when I'm feeling that manic side, which I kind of enjoy. Like, it's an energy that it feels good. It feels good to be optimistic. It feels like it's so like tough existing when you're depressed. And then it's like the weights get lifted and you're free and you feel like anything is possible. And that feels amazing. It's like, why can't I just feel that way without like the potential destructive nature of it? Why can't I just feel that way always? Or is this what normal feels like? Like, maybe what I'm defining as mania is just normal human existence. I don't know. And maybe I'm not. I'm self-diagnosed, so what do I know? What do I know? I know nothing. I'm just trying to understand who I am. I know myself in a way that I know that I fluctuate. I've known that I fluctuate my entire life. I just never knew the up parts. I never just defined those up parts as a thing. I definitely recognize and understand the down parts, the depression. That's easy. That's easy to spot. But when you feel good, it's like it's hard to label that as something that's potentially dangerous and bad. But it has that potential because it can go too far. And thankfully, I don't have the ability to go too far. I have like nothing left in my life. I've gone too far already. I think probably when I got rid of everything in San Diego, drastically gave up everything, thinking I was just going to effortlessly be successful, which I don't necessarily think that was going to be, but it was like, that was a lot. There's a lot I could probably unpack of that whole transition from San Diego to Denver. And I would bet that mania has a lot of that responsibility. But who knows? Who knows? Let's take a little break from the show to promote The Many Faces. That's right, I am also an artist. I do ink paintings on paper of abstract faces. A new face, a new painting gets released every single day over at inspireddisorder.com. So head on over to my website to purchase original artwork directly from the artist. Also, there are prints available for select images. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com, buy original art, buy prints if that's your jam, if you want 8x10 prints on high quality paper. Also, if you're looking to wear some art, there are shirts available with original artwork by myself. Select faces from The Many Faces are also available in t-shirt form. You go to inspireddisorder.com, you buy original artwork, you buy prints, you buy shirts. You're supporting an artist directly. And if you're the type of person that likes to invest in NFTs, there are also NFTs available for select faces. Go to inspireddisorder.com now. And now let's get back to the show. This is riding waves. You know, it would be nice if I could predict the waves, if I can look on the horizon and see the next set of waves coming in, right? Especially if I'm in that depressive moment. I'm in that depressive moment where there's no momentum, there's no energy, there's no life in my soul, just emptiness. It would be nice in that moment to be able to look on the horizon and see, like, oh, I can see it coming. I've got energy coming my way that I'm going to be able to ride. Like, I just got to ride this out for a few more days, right? Next week, I've got a set of energy of waves that I'm going to be able to ride and get a bunch of stuff done, right? I'm going to be able to, I'm not even going to like understand how depressed I was in these moments that are coming. I'm going to feel good. There's going to be life injected into me. I'm going to feel inspired, motivated. Like all of the opposite emotions that I'm feeling right now. It would be nice when I'm being depressed, when I'm in that mode of emptiness, to be able to look at the horizon and like know and see what's coming. Now I just have to know they're going to come. It always does. I'm not always, it seems sometimes like I'm always going to be in the empty, depressed mode. But I just have to have faith that something will happen and I will wake up and I will feel good, and I'll feel good and not even know that those depressing emotions existed. I mean, I know they will, but I don't feel them anymore. They will be foreign to me. So, I don't know. That's been my week. Kind of a weird week also. I've been reading comments. Most of the comments I get are kind of like just negative. I'm not trying to put negativity on this show. I did a comment. I did a swipe up last week of censorship that's happening on LGBTQ content on Netflix in Arab countries, and I was comparing that to what Republicans want to do in America, which, if you're alive and cognizant and have a level head on you, obviously conservatives are trying to roll back society, trying to censor a lot of things that don't fit into their extremely warped view of Christian fascist politics, censoring books, censoring human beings. And a lot of people, as I figured would happen, I thought there would be a lot more negative stuff about my talking about the Queen dying and how she is the pinnacle of white supremacy. Not as many people had a problem with that, but people had a problem with me comparing the censorship of Netflix in another area to conservatives. And they tried. And all of their comments, like there's a bunch on YouTube, which I didn't reply to any of them. I was like, fuck that. That's like way too much work. But there was a bunch on TikTok as well. And then all of a sudden, all of the comments from multiple people just disappeared on TikTok. I don't know how that happened. It was weird. It was weird to see. And I kind of enjoyed it that it was. Like, there was one person that left like 5 comments, right? That like wanted to dissect everything I said in that video. And didn't do a very good job, but they spent a lot of time. Bunch of comments. And I blocked that person. But all the other people that had left comments that I just like, if you're that crazy that you're going to go to somebody's page and just leave like multiple paragraph long comments about how wrong that person is, like, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing? You're spending that much time on somebody's account on a video that you disagree with, that you're going to leave like paragraph about paragraph, and like not even a long paragraph thing. Like, oh, I had another paragraph that I want to talk. Oh, I have another paragraph, and they keep coming back over and over again. Like, you have problems, and I just don't want somebody with that kind of mental problems trying to get me like taken down or something. So I don't know. So I blocked one account, and maybe they were all the same person having multiple accounts, and which would have made them even more insane. So I don't know. I'm probably not going to be reading comments. Maybe now and then if there's a comment that comes across that's nice and, I feel like I want to share, I'll do that. But I'm not really going to be doing that. I tested it out. Experimenting. That's what I do a lot with this show. Anyway, that's the end of it. I hope everybody's had a good week. And if you're somebody that takes sleep aids, look at the active ingredient, right? Just regular over-the-counter sleep aids. And then look at the active ingredient Benadryl. Same thing, and it's cheaper. That's the thing. Benadryl's way cheaper. Save some money. Anyway, that's it.
New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.